Centuries before the bustling streets and vibrant communities of modern-day Carnegie, Pennsylvania emerged. The land was inhabited by Native American tribes. The area, located in what is now Allegheny County, was a part of the rich history and cultural heritage of these indigenous peoples. Their presence left a mark on the land, shaping its character and laying the foundation for future settlement that would come. It was during the 18th century when European settlers began to explore and settle in the region. The land around the present-day Carnegie area became home to two separate towns, Mansfield and Charters. These towns grew independently, their residents forging their own paths and building their own communities. In 1894, after much deliberation and community involvement, the residents of Mansfield and Charters decided to merge their towns, giving birth to the newly named borough of Carnegie. The name paid homage to the renowned philanthropist and industrialist Andrew Carnegie, who had deep ties to the region. Andrew Carnegie was born in Scotland and later immigrated to the United States. He became a prominent figure in the steel industry and played a significant role in the growth and development of the Pittsburgh area. In the early years of Carnegie, Pennsylvania, a newly consolidated town emerged. Its development was driven by a variety of industries and sustained the growing community. These industries laid the groundwork for the town's future prosperity and contributed to its reputation as a thriving center of commerce and innovation. One of the primary industries during the early development of Carnegie was farming. The fertile soil and favorable climate of the region provided ideal conditions for agriculture. The residents of Carnegie cultivated crops such as wheat, corn, and potatoes, which served as essential sources of sustenance for the community. Farmers doted the landscape, and the local farmers worked diligently to feed their families and support the town's growing population. As the 19th century progressed, Carnegie became a bustling hub for manufacturing. The presence of nearby coal mines spurred the development of industries that relied on this valuable resource. Iron and steel production emerged as prominent sectors, capitalizing on the region's proximity to raw materials and transportation routes. The growth of these industries brought significant changes to the town. Carnegie experienced an influx of workers seeking employment and opportunities, resulting in the expansion of the population and the construction of new residential areas. Commercial districts began to take shape, featuring stores, markets, and workshops catering to the needs of the growing community. As Carnegie flourished industrially, the town's infrastructure evolved to accommodate its changing needs. Schools, churches, and public institutions were established, providing essential services and fostering a sense of community. The development of parks and recreational spaces also became a priority, offering residents opportunities for leisure and relaxation. The industrial boom of Carnegie can be largely attributed to the rise of the steel industry. The town's strategic location, nestled in the heart of the greater Pittsburgh region, provided easy access to abundant natural resources, including coal and iron ore. These resources served as the backbone for the burgeoning steel production that would shape Carnegie's destiny. During the late 19th and early 20th century, industrial magnate Andrew Carnegie played a pivotal role in the development of the steel industry in the region. Carnegie, born in Scotland and later immigrated to the United States, saw the immense potential for steel as a building material and invested heavily in its production. His vision and innovative business practices laid the foundation for the growth of the industry, and Carnegie became synonymous with steel. As Carnegie's steel industry flourished, the town experienced a surge in population driven by the influx of immigrants seeking employment in the burgeoning mills. Among the immigrants were individuals from various European countries, including Ukraine, who played a significant role in shaping the town's cultural fabric.
My ancestors came from, they were poor people. They would have been considered the hillbillies of the Carpathian Mountains. They didn't live in the city. They weren't cosmopolitan. They were people that had, to their name, probably a single room house with a couple pigs, goats, if they were lucky, a cow, and they ate mainly barley and potatoes, and were looking for a better life when the representatives of the mines and mills came over to the old country, telling about the American dream and the opportunities you would have to make a better life for yourself, something they couldn't foresee in the old country. Where most of them were educated very little, or in grade school at most, some of them being even illiterate. So that opportunity arose, and it started a kind of chain migration from that little village of Polina, Poland, which is about 60 miles east of Krakow. Even though it was in Poland, it was actually part of the larger Austro-Hungarian. So it's complex. Again, Ukrainians living in Poland as part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, all pre-World War I. The great wave of migrants coming from Eastern Europe will be in the late 1800s. So this would not be the wave of Germans earlier in American history that followed, the British colonists. It'd be after the Irish who had came during many of the Great Potato Famine, along with the Chinese helped build the Transcontinental Railroad. The great wave of Slavic workers would come. Start trickling in. The first of my relatives came here in 1888. His name was Hanat Turko.
The economic prosperity brought by the steel industry spurred the growth of commercial enterprise in Carnegie. Stores, businesses, and services sprang up to cater to the needs of the expanding population. The town's main street became a bustling hub of activity lined with shops, restaurants, and entertainment venues. While the steel industry served as the driving force behind Carnegie's industrial boom, its impact extended far beyond economic growth. The town became a melting pot of cultures as immigrants from different backgrounds came together, bringing their traditions, languages, and customs. These diverse influences enriched the fabric of the community and created a vibrant, multicultural environment. The decline of the steel industry, once the backbone of Carnegie's economy, had a profound impact on the town. As the industry faced global competition and changing economic dynamics, local steel mills began to shutter, resulting in the loss of jobs and subsequent decline in population. The closure of these mills not only affected the livelihood of the workers and their families, but also had a ripple effect throughout the community, leading to a closure of supporting businesses and a decrease in economic activity. With the decline of the steel industry came a decline in population. Many residents, faced with job losses and dwindling opportunities, sought employment and stability elsewhere. The once thriving neighborhood saw a decrease in occupancy, leading to the vacant houses and a sense of loss within the community. This decline in population had also implications for local schools, businesses, and public services, as resources became strained due to reduced funding and demand. Well,
Without industries like the steel industry, you probably are not going to have what we would call the mill towns, or they're going to be much smaller and much different in character. And of course, the other way that they impact them is through the money that comes in, not only in spending from steelworkers, but also in tax revenue that's going to be collected from those workers that are residents of those towns. But I think that it's also important to remember that when the steel industry declines, when you're not going to have the economic support that you once did, it's going to drive away tax dollars. It's going to cause those towns to be able to offer less services for their residents. And it really becomes this vicious downward cycle. As towns can't provide the same level of education, other social services, less people want to live there. And as a result, population will further decline, and it becomes very difficult for those towns to be able to escape from that. And the, I guess, more contemporary example of this would be if you take a look at what's happening or happened in West Mifflin. When Century 3 Mall closed, you had a property that was valued at somewhere around $130 million that just got erased from the tax rolls. And think about the impact on the town, think about the impact on the school district of that. I mean, it's a huge blow, and it's not easily replaced. So certainly in terms of less population, but in terms of a diminished opportunity to be able to offer services for people to get them to want to stay in those places, it's going to have a dramatic impact as well.
however, in recent years, Carnegie has witnessed a resurgence driven by the resilience and determination of its residents. The community has come together, recognizing the need for renovation and diversification. Efforts have been made to attract new industries and businesses, focusing on areas such as technology, healthcare, and creative arts. Carnegie's historic Main Street, once vibrant but impacted by the decline, has seen a revitalization. Community members, local organizations, and entrepreneurs have worked hand in hand to restore and repurpose historical buildings, creating an inviting and lively atmosphere. Small businesses, boutique shops, art galleries, and restaurants have emerged, breathing new life into the heart of the town. Additionally, the community has embraced its cultural heritage and historical significance, leveraging it as a unique selling point. Carnegie's rich history and agricultural charm have been attractions for tourists and visitors, drawing attention and economic activity to the area. Festivals, events, and art exhibitions have been organized to celebrate the town's cultural diversity and engage both residents and visitors. While challenges persist, the resurgence of Carnegie showcases the resilience and determination of its residents. The town is actively working to redefine its identity, embracing new industries and fostering a sense of community pride. Collaborative efforts between local government, business, and community organizations have been instrumental in driving positive change and positioning Carnegie for a prosperous future. As the town looks to the future, the lessons learned from its industrial past guide the path forward. Carnegie's modern-day narrative demonstrates that a community's spirit and adaptability can overcome adversity. The town's story serves as an inspiration for other communities facing similar challenges, reminding us that with vision, collaboration, and a deep-rooted sense of community, even in the face of decline, resurgence is possible.
Хай живе, живе вільна Україна, хай живуть вічно козаки, хай цвіте червона калина, нехай згинуть воріженьки на вічні віки, нехай згинуть воріженьки на